Hey guys! SummerSlam season is upon us, and you know what that means, a chance to relive some absolute bangers. This event consistently delivers, but there are those specific moments that stand out, the ones we talk about for years. So today, we have scoured through the history books to bring you our pick of 10 truly interesting WWE SummerSlam moments that showcase the drama, the spectacle, and the pure magic of this incredible show. Let's jump in, and if you guys think I'm an AI in disguise, feel free to hit that subscribe button and keep the circuits running. At SummerSlam 2005, WWE presented one of its most bizarre storylines in the form of a custody of Dominic ladder match featuring Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, where the latter would claim that he was the father of Rey's biological son, Dominic, and that he had let Rey and his wife raise him. As tensions escalated, Guerrero demanded custody of the child, leading to a match where the legal custody papers were placed in a briefcase suspended above the ring for the first time ever. The match featured intense physical action and emotional drama, with Dominic, then just 8 years old, visibly distressed at ringside. In the end, Mysterio won the match and retained custody of his son. While the bout itself was a solid ladder match, it marked Guerrero's last major PLE match due to his tragic demise few months later, and then Dominic went on to have a classic debut match against Seth Rollins, a decade and a half years later. At SummerSlam 2015, Seth Rollins, the reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion, faced off against United States Champion John Cena, at that time in a winner-takes-all match. The stakes were unprecedented, as the victor would walk away with both the company's top prize and the prestigious mid-card championship. The match was a hard-fought and intense affair, with both men delivering a series of high-impact moves and near falls. However, the bizarre and memorable finish came when Jon Stewart, then the host of The Daily Show, interfered in the match. Stewart, who had been a vocal opponent of Cena potentially tying Ric Flair's record of 16 world championships, ran into the ring and delivered a low blow to Cena with a steel chair. The distraction allowed Rollins to capitalize, hitting his pedigree finisher on the chair to secure the pinfall victory. With the win, Seth Rollins became the first and only person to hold both the WWE World Heavyweight and United States Championships simultaneously, so far. Bret, the Hitman Hart, arguably one of greatest pro wrestlers of all time, holds a unique distinction at SummerSlam, having won 3 different championships that is one title short of a career Grand Slam. His first SummerSlam title victory came in 1990, where he, alongside Jim, the Anvil Neidhart as the Hart Foundation, defeated Demolition to capture the WWF Tag Team Championship. A year later, Hart transitioned to singles competition and famously defeated Mr. Perfect for his first reign as the Intercontinental Champion in a classic encounter. Finally, in 1997, Bret Hart cemented his legacy by defeating The Undertaker to win the coveted WWF World Heavyweight Championship, with Shawn Michaels serving as the controversial special guest referee. This incredible feat is never done before and could be potentially broken by upcoming superstars during this Netflix era.
Unified heavyweight champion of the world, Brock Lesnar!
While not bizarre in the sense of being strange, Brock Lesnar has main event SummerSlam an astounding number of times, that is 9, far more than almost any other superstar, a testament to his unique standing as a box office attraction within WWE. While other legends might have their own WrestleMania moments, Lesnar has carved out a distinct legacy as Mr. SummerSlam. His first meteoric appearance was in 2002, where he famously defeated The Rock to become the youngest WWE champion ever at the event. Then, after a transition of UFC dominance away from the company, he made subsequent appearance, a decade later reigniting rivalry with the WWE COO, at that time Triple H. Then in 2014, he famously defeated the company's favorite John Cena for the unified WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a dominant fashion. He then continued his main event streak, clashing with The Undertaker in a highly anticipated rematch in 2015, followed by a dream match against Randy Orton in a brutal encounter, and engaging in a chaotic fatal 4-way match against Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman in 2017. He would face Roman Reigns again in the main event in 2018 and Seth Rollins in 2019, thereby creating a buzz to battle the company's top stars. His last recent SummerSlam main event came in 2022, where he once again locked horns with his greatest rival, Roman Reigns, in a last-man-standing match that saw both men push each other to their absolute limits, where Reigns would get the last laugh. Despite being the face that runs the place for over a decade and a 17-time world champion, John Cena surprisingly holds a rather unenviable record at SummerSlam: 10 losses. This streak of defeats, particularly in high-profile matches, adds a fascinating layer to his otherwise dominant career, as Super Cena was renowned for overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. This pay-per-view often proved to be his kryptonite. His string of SummerSlam losses began in 2006, when Edge famously defeated him in a WWE Championship match using brass knuckles. That loss set the tone for several others, including memorable showdowns against top-tier talent like Batista in 2008 and Randy Orton in 2009. The 2010s brought a storm of setbacks. CM Punk outclassed him twice, that is in 2011 and 2012, Daniel Bryan defeated him clean in 2013, and Brock Lesnar annihilated him in a one-sided squash in 2014, a match that redefined dominance in WWE. The trend continued with high-profile losses to Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, And finally, Roman Reigns in 2021, where Cena could potentially increase this number by facing the American Nightmare this week. Ironically, Cena's greatest SummerSlam legacy may not be about victory, but about his willingness to elevate others under the brightest lights, which makes him one of greatest to do so. In the first decade of SummerSlam, the Intercontinental Championship was the most frequently defended and changed title, accounting for over half of all title changes during that period. This shows a different focus than later years where world titles often took center stage, held by the likes of Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Triple H during that era, where this title change would involve the Ultimate Warrior, who wasn't even scheduled to compete, answered Honky Tonk Man's open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, where in a stunning display of dominance, Warrior defeated Honky Tonk Man in just 31 seconds, ending his record-setting reign in abrupt and controversy. Another point to note, during this century, The Miz has defended or challenged for this title more than anyone else at SummerSlam, as he's been involved in key IC matches in 2012, 2014, 2015, and 2016.
Awesome.
At SummerSlam 2013, the atmosphere inside the Staples Center was electric. Daniel Bryan, the scrappy, unshaven underdog who had captured the hearts of the WWE Universe, stood face-to-face with a Mr. HLR, John Cena. There were no fancy corporate endorsements, no backstage alliances, just Bryan's raw passion and relentless will to prove he belonged at the top. Back and forth they battled, until finally, with the crowd roaring in disbelief, Bryan struck Cena with a thunderous running knee. It was real. Daniel Bryan was the new WWE champion. The eruption from the crowd was deafening. Bryan stood tall, arms raised in triumph for a while. But then, in a cruel twist of fate, Randy Orton's music hit. Mr. Money in the Bank stood there waiting. Later, as the crowd watched in stunned silence, Triple H, who had just raised Bryan's hand in victory, turned on him, delivering a devastating pedigree. Then, the Apex Predator cashed in, pinned Bryan, and walked out as WWE champion. The dream was ripped away in seconds. But what Bryan created that night was far bigger than a title win, as it made him shortest reigning WWE champion in this pay-per-view history, lasting just 4 minutes. One of the defining traits that makes SummerSlam stand out is the frequent number of title changes, and this is no coincidence. WWE often uses SummerSlam as a pivotal turning point in ongoing storylines, either to reward rising superstars, reshuffle championship scenes, or shock the audience with unpredictable outcomes. Because the event sits firmly in the middle of WWE's yearly calendar, it serves as a perfect reset point heading into the fall season. Over the years, fans have come to expect that titles are not just on the line, they're very likely to change hands, making the event thrilling and unpredictable. Some editions, like SummerSlam 1999, have even seen up to staggering 5 titles change hands, a rare feat that underlines the show's importance as a game-changer in WWE's storytelling calendar. The Viper, Randy Orton, synonymous for his cunning persona and longevity in WWE, is set to solidify his place in SummerSlam history as the superstar with the most appearances at the biggest party of the summer. Having debuted at 2003 edition of SummerSlam, participating in an Elimination Chamber match, and then the subsequent year, he would headline the event again by becoming youngest world heavyweight champion at 24 years and 4 months, making him a torchbearer of this event. While he currently shares the record with The Undertaker for 16 appearances, his scheduled match at SummerSlam 2025, teaming up with the rapper Jelly Roll against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, and the match will officially elevate him to the undisputed top spot with 17 contests under his belt. This remarkable feat underscores Orton's incredible durability, consistent main event presence, and the trust WWE has placed in him to deliver memorable performances on one of its grandest stages year after year. From his earliest days as the Legend Killer to his multiple World Championship reigns and tag team successes, SummerSlam has been a significant chapter in the storied career of Randy Orton. The Bret Hart vs. British Bulldog at SummerSlam 1992 was a highly anticipated main event at London's Wembley Stadium, drawing over staggering 78,000 fans, which is massive for such pay-per-view as major events compared to WrestleMania 3 at Pontiac Silverdome and WrestleMania 32 at AT&T Stadium drew around 93,000 and 80,000 fans around the world respectively. It was a deeply personal Intercontinental Championship bout between real-life brother-in-laws, with the British Bulldog being the hometown hero from the London crowd, where they delivered an ultimate classical showdown. The emotionally charged contest saw the Bulldog reverse a sunset flip to pin Hart and win the title, leading to a massive celebration for the championship gold. That's it, folks. If you still think I'm an AI, then please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button and suggest any topic to cover such similar events.